Hanged versus hung. Hanged. Executed by hanging. The criminal was hanged for his crimes. Hung, used for suspending objects. He hung his coat on the hook. Sex versus gender. Sex. Biological differences, male and female. The baby's sex was revealed in the ultrasound. Gender. Social roles or identity, man, woman, non-binary. Gender roles have changed over time. Pill versus tablet. Pill. A general term for solid medicine taken orally. The doctor prescribed some pills for my headache. Tablet. A compressed form of medicine, often flat. This tablet should be taken with food. Poison versus venom. Poison. A toxic substance that harms when swallowed, inhaled, or touched. Rat poison is dangerous to pets. Venom. A toxin injected by animals, like snakes or spiders, through bites or stings. The cobra's venom can be deadly. Respectfully versus respectively. Respectfully. Politely or with respect. He spoke respectfully to his teacher. Respectively. In the same order mentioned. John and Sarah arrived at 3 p.m. and 4 p.m., respectively. Tortuous versus torturous. Tortuous. Full of twists and turns. The road was long and tortuous. Torturous. Involving great pain or suffering. The prisoners endured torturous conditions. Food versus meal. Food. Any substance consumed for nutrition. We need to buy some food for the week. Meal. A structured eating event, breakfast, lunch, dinner. We had a delicious meal at the restaurant. Sauté versus fry. Sauté. To cook food quickly in a small amount of oil over high heat. I sautéed onions for the pasta sauce. Fry. To cook food in a larger amount of oil, often at a higher temperature. He fried chicken in deep oil. Look up to versus admire. Look up to. To respect someone and see them as a role model. Example, I look up to my father. Admire. To respect or appreciate someone's qualities. I admire her hard work and determination. Take after versus look like. Take after. To have similar personality or behavior traits as a family member. He takes after his father in business skills. Look like. To have a similar physical appearance to someone. She looks like her mother. Call off versus put off. Call off. To cancel something. The match was called off due to bad weather. Put off. To postpone something. We had to put off our vacation until next month. Hear versus listen. Hear. To perceive sound without effort. I can hear music from the next room. Listen. To pay attention to sounds intentionally. Listen carefully to the instructions. Isle versus aisle. Isle. A small island. The Isle of Skye is famous for its scenery. Aisle. A passage between seats or shelves. Walk down the grocery aisle for milk. Crocodile versus alligator. Crocodile. A large reptile with a V-shaped snout. The crocodile swam towards the riverbank. Alligator. A reptile with a U-shaped snout, found mainly in the U.S. Alligators live in freshwater swamps and rivers. Stationery versus stationary. Stationary. Not moving. The car remained stationary at the red light. My bike was stationary because the chain broke. Stationary. Writing materials, paper, pens. I bought some new stationery for school. Capital versus capital. Capital. A city or money used for investment. Paris is the capital of France. They need more capital for their business. Capital. A government building. We visited the state capitol. Lay versus lie. Lay. To put something down. She laid the book on the table. Please lay your keys here. Lie. To rest or recline. I need to lie down. The dog lies by the fireplace. Smile versus smirk. Smile. A friendly, happy facial expression. She smiled warmly at me. Smirk. A sly or sarcastic smile. He smirked when he won the argument. Wet versus damp. Wet. Completely covered with water or liquid. My clothes are wet from the rain. Damp. Slightly wet. The towel is damp but not soaking. Discover versus invent. Discover. To find something that already exists. Scientists discovered a new planet. Invent. To create something new. He invented the telephone. Hug versus cuddle. Hug. A brief, firm embrace. She gave her friend a quick hug before leaving. Cuddle. A longer, more intimate embrace. The mother cuddled her baby to keep him warm. Look versus stare. Look. To glance or focus briefly. Look at this beautiful picture. Stare. To look intently for a long time. He stared at the painting for hours. Listen versus eavesdrop. Listen. To actively pay attention to sound. I love listening to music. Eavesdrop. To secretly listen to someone's conversation. He eavesdropped on their conversation. Famous versus notorious. Famous. Known for positive reasons. She is a famous actress. Notorious. Known for negative reasons. He is notorious for his bad temper. Childish versus childlike. Childish. immature or silly, negative. Stop acting so childish. Childlike. Having innocent qualities, positive. Her childlike curiosity is admirable. Mistake versus error. Mistake. A wrong action due to misunderstanding. I made a mistake on my test. Error. A more serious or technical mistake. There was an error in the computer program. Leave versus quit. Leave. To go away from a place. She left the office at 5 p.m. Quit. To stop permanently, a job or habit. He quit smoking last year. Job versus work. Job. A specific position of employment. She has a job at a bank. Work. General tasks or effort. I have a lot of work to do today. Sob versus weep. Sob. To cry noisily with deep breaths. She sobbed uncontrollably after hearing the news. Weep. To cry quietly, often with sadness. He wept silently at the funeral. Gulp versus sip. Gulp. To swallow a large amount quickly. He gulped down the water after running. Sip. To drink slowly in small amounts. She sipped her tea carefully. Home versus house. Home. A place where someone feels emotionally attached. My home is where my family is. House. A physical building where people living. They bought a new house last month. Rise versus raise. Rise. To go up on its own. The sun rises every morning. Raise. To lift something. He raised his hand. Alone versus lonely. Alone. Without other people, neutral. I live alone, and I enjoy it. Lonely. Feeling sad about being alone. She feels lonely in a new city. Damage versus destroy. Damage. To harm but not completely ruin. The storm damaged the roof. Destroy. To completely ruin something. The fire destroyed the house. To live versus reside. To live. General word for having a home somewhere. I live in New York. Reside. More formal, used for official situations. The ambassador resides in the capital. Story versus history. Story. A fictional or real narrative. She told me an interesting story. History. The study of past events. I love reading about world history. Pillow versus cushion. Pillow. Usually used in bed for sleeping. I need a soft pillow to sleep comfortably. Cushion. It is for sitting or decorating. She placed a cushion on the sofa. Emoji versus emoticon. Emoji. A small digital image or icon used to express emotions, objects, or symbols. She sent a heart emoji in her text. Emoticon. A text-based representation of a facial expression using keyboard characters. He typed as an emoticon to show he was happy. Few versus less. Few. A small number of countable things. There are few apples left. Less. A small amount of something uncountable. There is less water in the bottle. Frog versus toad. Frog. It has smooth skin and lives near water. The frog jumped into the lake. Toad. It has rough, dry skin and lives on land. The toad sat in the garden. Rock versus stone. Rock. A large solid mineral. The mountain is made of rock. Stone. A small piece of rock. He threw a stone into the lake. Earthquake versus tremor. Earthquake. A strong shaking of the earth. The earthquake damaged buildings. Tremor. A small, mild shaking. A tremor was felt before the earthquake. Among versus. Between. Among. It used when referring to more than two people or things in a group. She felt comfortable among her friends. Between. Used when referring to two people or things. She sat between her two best friends. Cemetery versus graveyard. Cemetery. A large burial place not attached to a church. He was buried in the city cemetery. Graveyard. A small burial place near a church. The old church has a graveyard. Psychologist versus psychiatrist. Psychologist. He provides therapy but cannot prescribe medicine. The psychologist helped with anxiety. Psychiatrist. A medical doctor who can prescribe medication. The psychiatrist prescribed antidepressants. Run versus jog. Run. To move fast on foot. He ran to catch the bus. Jog. To run at a slow, steady pace. She jogs every morning. Salary versus wage. Salary. A fixed monthly or yearly income. He earns a good salary. Wage. An hourly or daily pay. She gets a daily wage for her work. Path versus road. Path. A small walkway, often for walking. The path leads to the park. Road. A wide route for cars. The road is busy with traffic. Banana versus plantain. Banana. A soft, sweet fruit that can be eaten raw. She ate a banana for breakfast. Plantain. A starchy fruit, usually cooked before eating. Fried plantains are delicious. Made of versus made from. Made of. When the material remains the same. This table is made of wood. Made from. When the material is changed into something else. Paper is made from trees. Turtle versus tortoise. Turtle. A reptile that lives in water. The turtle swam in the pond. Tortoise. A reptile that lives on land. The tortoise moves very slowly. Bee versus wasp. Bee. An insect that makes honey and usually doesn't sting unless provoked. The bee landed on the flower. Wasp. A more aggressive insect that can sting multiple times and doesn't make honey. A wasp stung me on my arm. Wood versus timber. Wood. Material from trees used in making things. The chair is made of wood. Timber. It refers to cut trees used for construction. The carpenter ordered timber for the house. Cactus versus succulent. Cactus. A plant with spines that grows in dry areas. The desert is full of cacti. Succulent. A plant with thick, fleshy leaves that store water. Succulents need little watering. Gloves versus mittens. Gloves. They have separate spaces for each finger. She wore gloves to keep warm. Mittens. Mittens cover the whole hand with a separate thumb. Mittens are better for the cold. Soap versus detergent. Soap. It is used for cleaning hands or the body. Wash your hands with soap. Detergent. It is used for washing clothes or dishes. Use detergent for the laundry. Guarantee versus warranty. Guarantee. A promise that something will work. The product comes with a money-back guarantee. Warranty. A formal agreement to repair or replace something. The laptop has a 2-year warranty. Sleep versus nap. Sleep. It means to rest for a long period. I sleep for 8 hours every night. Nap. It means a short sleep. He took a nap after lunch. Smell versus sniff. Smell. It means to perceive an odor. I can smell fresh bread. Sniff. It means to take in air through the nose quickly. He sniffed the flowers. Guess versus estimate. Guess. It means to give an answer without enough information. I guessed the answer. Estimate. It means to make an approximate calculation. He estimated the total cost. Proud versus arrogant. Proud. It means feeling pleased with achievements. She is proud of her son. Arrogant. It means overly self-important, negative. He is arrogant and never listens to others. Cook versus bake. Cook. To prepare food with heat. She cooked a delicious meal. Bake. To cook in an oven. He baked a chocolate cake. Peel versus shell. Peel. To remove the outer layer of fruits or vegetables. Peel the banana before eating. Shell. To remove the hard covering of nuts or seafood. He shelled the peanuts. Watch versus clock. Watch. A small device worn on the wrist. He checked his watch. Clock. A large device that shows the time. There is a clock on the wall. Jacket versus coat. Jacket. A short, lightweight outerwear. He wore a leather jacket. Coat. A long, heavy outerwear. She bought a winter coat. Elder versus older. Elder. It is used for family relationships. My elder brother is a doctor. Older. It is a general comparison of age. She is older than her friend.